on Snapchat for all things, everything else video games, E3, and scary ass rabbids, IGN.com. Thanks for watching.
Bueno, muy buenas a todos. Volvemos 5 minutitos antes de que arranque supuestamente el vivo de Warner. Vamos a ver si nos tiran algo. Sabemos, a ver, esto para que sepan si no llegamos a ver nada, probablemente esperemos hasta las 18:30, que es el PC Gaming Show. Más que nada porque es difícil tratar con esta empresa, no es ninguna crítica, ninguna denuncia, aunque podríamos hacerlo, pero la realidad es que el tema de derechos con Warner es bastante complicado para cualquiera de las plataformas, entonces vamos a ver si podemos transmitirlo, si nos pasan algo, si nos muestran. Por lo pronto lo que esperamos, como decíamos durante el vivo que habíamos tenido antes con Square Enix, es que por ahí nos encontremos con la confirmación del juego de Superman. No sabemos todavía si es realmente así o no, si realmente Warner se va a animar a mostrarnos algo así, pero bueno, será cuestión de paciencia a ver qué encontramos.
您可以在全球各大手机应用市场下载篝火营地 APP， 或者访问3w.gamebonfire.com 来加入游戏传播者的行列。
As a part of Play For All, GameSpot will be bringing you the latest gaming news and announcements, interviews with developers, the biggest press conferences, and lots more. Play For All is our yearly online event that combines the excitement and announcements of E3 with charity live streams the following week with lots of special guests who are going to help us raise money for able gamers. So join us in June for E3 and Play For All on GameSpot.com, YouTube.com/GameSpot, Twitch.tv/GameSpot, and as a part of the E3's official broadcast. See you then.
And a big thank you to our sponsors at DoorDash. Get more from your neighborhood, from restaurants and convenience to grocery and corner stores. All right. We got a lot to talk about, sir.
We do.
Back for Blood. I don't think we
wait.
said that together.
We have to.
Vamos a
Back
Warner,
for Blood's
sí.
all about cooperation, getting out there,
Yeah.
be the cleaners, take on the ridden.
Yeah.
I can't wait.
You know, it's funny. I was talking to Damon, and I was like, "Oh, you used to kick Greg's butt
Oh, I
in
saw.
Left 4 Dead," and
Yeah.
he was like, "No, we played together." And I
That's
was
what
like,
we do. We're a team. All right? That was the Game
"Aw."
Scoop squad, ladies and gentlemen. We weren't tearing each other apart. We were tearing up them zombies in Left 4 Dead,
Yeah.
which is why I'm so stoked to see Turtle Rock return to this and come out and do Back for Blood. And so, yeah, we're on the precipice of this presentation. What's interesting, if you're not over on Twitter keeping up with there, they just put up a post that I think is interesting, explaining more of their online content and keeping the squad together, as they said. They're going to do it that if the party leader has content for PvE, which means, of course, if they've bought something, it'll be available to the entire party. So if you want to do an expansion, not everybody
Un
has to
poquito
go,
del
just
Back
party
4
leader
Blood
does.
que ya
And then
habíamos
for
visto
PvP, the question was, how do you
en
keep it from being
conjunto
pay to
con
win?
con
They're
Square
doing a
Enix.
thing where all the PvP additional content you can get for free by progression. So you could pick it up by, cosmetics, unlock it right away, but if you want to, you can earn it for free in the game too, which is a great look.
You know what's been really interesting to me about
Perdón,
Back 4
Square Enix
Blood
no,
is that,
con
with
Bethesda.
some games we see them trickling just a tiny bit.
Yeah.
Black Panther, that was kind of happening.
way too
Sorry, I know
soon.
that
That's way too
stings.
soon,
I
Jackie.
apologize. I apologize. But Back 4 Blood is the exact opposite. They're like, yo, we
Yeah.
want you to know exactly what this game is about. We have gotten very long descriptions about all the cleaners.
Yep.
We've gotten a very
Lo
inside
sabemos.
look at the Ridden as well.
No
and
sabemos qué va a
I have
presentar, básicamente.
absolutely
Sí,
loved
porque-
Hablando un poquito,
everything
bueno.
that I've seen.
Yeah.
The cleaners are extremely varied
Sí,
in
Arito.
abilities, but I'm gonna be quiet because
Sé que el de.
it's time.
That's the thing. Everything I've seen has been a
¿Cómo se
PvP
llama?
thing, which is
El
why a lot of
Escuadrón
people talk
Suicida
about
y el
PvP. Here it is,
de.
ladies and gentlemen, the Back 4 Blood showcase.
Sí, el de los. El de Robin y cosas. ¿Cómo
You
era
know,
que?
there was a little while ago when WB
Este
Games
no lo van a estar
calls me
presentando acá.
and asked me if I wanted to be a part of the reveal of Back 4
Probablemente
Blood,
se lo
and I
guarden para
knew
alguna
what it was.
exclusiva
I
Claro.
was so
ellos solos.
excited about what this game is, and
Y puede
it's the
ser.
reason why that I'm so stoked for everyone at home to enjoy this. So coming up next, WB Games is
A
throwing you
ver.
smack in the middle of the action with their gore-fest shooter, Back 4 Blood. So grab your weapon of choice, because here is WB Games, Back 4 Blood.
Thanks, Golden Boy. Hello and welcome to the
Vale,
Back
vamos
4
a
Blood
mostrar
PvP Showcase.
otra vez.
If you don't already know, Back 4 Blood is an upcoming 4-player co-op zombie shooter made by the creators of Left 4 Dead. Today we're diving deeper into the new PvP mode called Swarm, how it works, and what you'll be doing. Maybe even a little bit of strategy. We'll also talk with Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez, to help piece it all together. Before we get there though, let's start off with the reveal of a brand new PvP trailer and see what it's like in action.
Sabe un poquito del PvP del Back 4 Blood.
That's one down. When I was young, I climbed up too high just to touch the sun.
Es de los mismos creadores.
Claro, va a tener muchas mecánicas seguramente del Left 4 Dead.
Start a riot, won't keep quiet. I'm surrounded. Heart is pumping, keep it coming. Better run it high.
This is what happens when you don't stick together.
I was born for this. I'm a monster, I'm a hunter. Let my demons show.
La primera ronda son horda.
Hit the gas and go. Now I never live
La segunda es dominando.
Heart is pumping, keep it coming. Better running high. Feel that fever, lightning strikes. Dangerous, no
Here they come!
That looked intense. So there you have it, guys. Back 4 Blood's PvP mode Swarm.
Toda la beta
To hear more
abierta.
about it and to take a deep dive into the gameplay and the mechanics, we have Turtle Rock's lead game designer on Back 4 Blood, Brandon Yanez. Brandon, can you tell us a little bit about the inspiration of this new PvP
No preste
mode
atención a las
and what makes it fun
plataformas.
and
¿Alguno
unique?
lo vio?
Of course, so just like our previous titles, we really enjoy bringing new ideas to the table while retaining the spirit of the genre.
¿Tendrá crossplay?
So, Back 4 Blood's PvP
Esperemos que sí,
is
porque si
inspired by
no-
our previous titles and mix
Left 4
survival,
Dead creo que no
fast
tiene.
action,
Y Xbox
massive monsters,
también.
and a touch of horror. So our goal is to make a balanced and fun PvP mode with just as much replayability as the main campaign.
So what's the structure of the PvP like? Do you play in rounds? Can you play as both cleaners and ridden in one match? Or are we swapping
Estaría
between the
bueno.
two?
Yeah, so it's played as a best of 3 match. Teams of 4 take turns.
Más teniendo en
swapping
cuenta que es
between
un juego que
ridden
están
and
haciendo con
cleaners. Job of
Bethesda,
the cleaners is to
que ellos
scatter
están
supplies,
aliados
find a good place on the
con
map to
Xbox.
fortify
Ahora
their
son la
position
misma
and
empresa.
try to last as long as they
Pero
can. The
teniendo en
ridden's
cuenta
main
que
objective
Xbox
is to kill
tiene
the
su
cleaners as
consola
fast
y
as
al
they
mismo
can.
tiempo
So this is achieved by
Microsoft,
choosing the right ridden to
supongo
counter
que
the other team's strategy, using mutation upgrades, and by coordinating attacks with other AIs and players. As the round progresses, the swarm moves in, so this increases the size of the ridden attacks and shrinks the playable space, sometimes forcing the cleaners out of their favorable positions, right? So when a cleaner team is wiped from the field, the points are scored for how long they survive. Then both teams swap, and then they go at it from the other side. The team that runs the clock the longest as the cleaners is the winner.
Now, I understand you can play as all the different cleaners in both co-op and PvP. Do you have a favorite character that you play as?
So I have a couple. I play Mom a lot. She's a badass with a sawed-off shotgun. She adds a lot of survivability to the team. She can also instantly help teammates that have fallen during battle. All of our cleaners have special perks, so that one is hers.
Let's jump into another trailer that goes a little more in depth on the Ridden's progression through PvP. Check it out.
Intestinal discharge! Ah, shit!
What's up, Stinger?
Watch out!
Okay, so Brandon, we just saw that each different Ridden has their own variants as well as their own mutations on each variant. So can you expand a little more on these special abilities and how they work?
Sure. So at the start of each round, players can choose between 9 playable Ridden, each with their own unique abilities. So for example, the Stalker can pounce a player and pull them away from their team, or an Exploder can time their detonation in the middle of a group of cleaners and fling them all in separate directions.
Now, knowing that each Ridden has these different abilities, how do they change and improve throughout a match and improve the Ridden's chance of winning?
So as the Ridden battle against the cleaners, they gain points. They can spend these points on team-wide upgrades called mutations. Mutations upgrade and improve a lot of different things on the Ridden side, from adding effects to their abilities. They might buff the common AI waves in size and strength. So the really cool thing is so they affect the whole team, and they persist between rounds. So as a Ridden team starts to coordinate their upgrades, things can get pretty wild.
What are some strategies that the Ridden team can take on in order to get a leg up on the competition?
If the cleaners are really sticking together, you can swap to the Wretch and vomit on their location. That's going to cause them to spread out, right? This is going to open up a whole bunch of opportunities for your other Ridden players to attack, right? So if you get them to spread out and there's a Stalker nearby, Stalker will use the Chaos to grab one of the cleaners and drag them off into the swarm. The Wretch's vomit also slows their victims, so if a tall boy who's naturally pretty slow can attack one of those slowed characters, they're going to really be able to pummel them. Another good one is if a Exploder waits for a cleaner to go revive their friend, they can use that as an opportunity to charge in and detonate on them, sending them flying and doing a massive amount of damage.
Whew, sounds pretty brutal. So with that being said, which is your favorite Ridden to play as?
That has to be the tall boy. It's pretty easy to pick up and play, and have a lot of fun hitting cleaners across the map.
Speaking of fun, let's talk about weapons. Now, throughout the trailers, you can see a number of different weapons. Can you go a little deeper into what those weapons are and how they work?
So we really wanted to expand on the amount of choices the player had in Back 4 Blood with their weapon. So of course there's handguns, shotguns, LMGs, SMGs, sniper rifles, and a whole bunch of other types of weapons, each with sort of like a unique character feel to them.
Now, how deep does this weapon customization go? I really want to know. What are some of the different attachments and options, and how do they change the gameplay overall?
Absolutely. So there's a lot of different customization options for your weapons. So throughout the world, you can find scopes, silencers, stocks, sights, all that good stuff. You can mix and match them, so there's a ton of options.
Last question. Do you have a favorite type of weapon?
Absolutely. So as I said earlier, I really enjoy playing Mom, so her shotgun is definitely at the top of my list.
Ah, that's a solid choice. All right, we've learned a little bit about how it all works, the cleaners, the Ridden, the mutations, as well as how the customization works for the weapons. Thank you so much for joining me, Brandon, and for giving us a little bit more detail on Back 4 Blood's new PvP mode, Swarm.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait for everyone to get their hands on this game. We're all really excited.
I can't wait either. The good news is that you guys won't have to wait too long. There's an open beta coming up on August 12th with an early access portion on August 5th available to those who pre-order. That's all for today, but Back 4 Blood still has a lot more to reveal in the coming months, so stay tuned. Bye.
Ok. 5 de agosto. Está abierta. Muchas gracias, Warner. ¿Algo más?
Eso era todo.
There you go, folks. Back
Muchas
for
gracias,
Blood.
adiós.
It looks awesome. PvP mode. That was actually a pleasant surprise for me. When I played the game, you know, and when the alpha was out, I think it was the alpha is what they termed it as. It was, you know, a single-player cooperative, right? That kind of experience, Dan. But you know, I love me some good old-fashioned, unorthodox PvP types of games. I love that kind of stuff.
Yeah, I played an irresponsible amount of the versus mode in Left 4 Dead and Left 4 Dead 2, in which you get to be both the monsters and the player characters. And Swarm mode that's exactly what I wanted from this game. And I like the wrinkle where you're going to die no matter what, like you're actually in a horror movie. At least that's what I would do in a horror movie. I would just perish immediately. But here, you have to try and rack up as big of a time as possible. And
Quedamos acá porque en 20 minutitos nada más ya tenemos el PC Gaming Show. Así que vamos a esperar qué onda. Exactamente, y volvemos nosotros dentro de 19 minutitos, un poquito menos.
And we know Turtle Rock's history, having tried different games and different unorthodox multiplayer games in the past, but I think that there's some potential there for some fun competition.
I think that, I don't know if I see it as like a full esport, but like a Twitch Rivals or something, or like some fun competitions, like we get a couple G4 hosts together.
Shameless plug.
We start playing, shameless plug. I got you, Jerry. Shameless plug, and then we all play together, we're the zombies, we're the good guys, and then we do it in real life?
No, I wouldn't want to do that in real life, especially not after the week we had. Damon, though, I know you're a single-player guy, but I know you also played a decent amount of Left 4 Dead. So because of this Back 4 Blood, what I like about it is, yes, it is, you know, a PvP, but it still pulls back to the single-player experience very well. And I think for that reason, it should appeal to folks who maybe don't really want to dive into PvP, but enjoy, you know, the gameplay mechanics.
I think there's actually a character or a class just for people like me in the PvP, and that's the Exploder.
Yes.
I'm going to die a lot, but if I can take out a few enemies with me, I don't mind dying so much.
Yeah, exactly. It's all right to just run up there, blow yourself up a few times. You know what, man, Michael? It looks like it's going to be a good time. Do you feel like this is something that you can pick up and play repeated sessions of? Like,
yeah, I miss having that game where I could just like play with my friends back home and just be really loud and ignorant over comms. Like Left 4 Dead is 1000% that game for us. We could just wild out on Discord or whatever. But it's really exciting in the sense that, you know, when you think about it, Left 4 Dead was a source mod. And so, like, Turtle Rock obviously made their bread off that, but the production values of Back 4 Blood, you know, this is their opportunity to kind of bring back that magic of Left 4 Dead, but like do it on a much bigger scale. And like that presentation that we saw, it's like, yo, we're going all in on this mode with all these classes, these different characters. Yo, it's going to be wild and all sorts of stuff. So it's really promising because that format, that foundation is strong enough already. That can carry a new game, but if you put on like a lot of mechanics on top of that, sold.
Yeah. And funny enough, we did not mention that Back 4 Blood was also on the Xbox press briefing as well. So you actually saw a few of the different elements that are going to be coming to this game. Something that I love, Avali, giant monsters. Giant monsters is always a plus.
Oh, giant monsters are freaking amazing. You saw, I think they said like 9 playable ridden that you can be fighting. The huge monster that we ended up seeing, which was like the size of a building, just came in. So I'm trying to figure out like, okay, cool. So we're co-oping this. We're getting in there. We're taking him down together. But then also very excited for the PvP moments because I just can't wait to just throw up on friends. Can't do it in real life, so may as well do it in the game.
That's what's up.
Are you sure you can't do it in real life?
Well, you have a mask on, so it's just going to be like...
We're trying to be COVID safe, GB. Thank you very much.
Totally.
But no, I mean, it just seems like such a fun game. The last time I played Left 4 Dead 2 was quite honestly in middle school, and all my friends were older at me and just yelling at me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, okay, cool. I now see some of the mechanics that Michael was mentioning, being able to kind of like throw up on people and move them out of their hiding spots, or trying to like separate people from the rest of the squad. I can't wait to, like, with my newly formed adult brain, try to implement some of these.
Well, you know, if there's one thing a game like Back 4 Blood is good for, it's good for yelling at friends and having a good time. And one friend who I love yelling at, it's Greg Miller, who's over with Jackie. Greg, take it away.
Thank you, Golden Boy. Always a pleasure to yell at you. Avi's newly formed adult brain.
She's so sweet.
At what point does it form? At what year does the adult... you know what? We won't. Let's keep talking a little bit about Back 4 Blood.
I was going to say, all of ours is still forming,
Exactly right.
I'm doing more, we still got a long way.
I'm hurting mine more than I'm helping at this point, I think. What did you think? PvP, Back 4 Blood.
Oh my goodness. I absolutely love everything I've seen with Back 4 Blood. Since the first trailer, to be completely honest, and then I've just been like tracking every single YouTube video that I can get my hands on. And actually the co-founder, Phil Robb, it was like in some YouTube video, and he was like, you know, we've had to sit back the last 10 years and watch other people riff on something we created. And I feel like he's like, y'all, I'm bringing it 100%. We're gonna give you cleaners with depth. We're gonna give you ridden with depth.
Of course.
You know, we just heard Avalee and we heard Golden Boy talking about the potential for esports here. You know, I was talking to you, I said, wow, do you think there could be the potential for that? So a lot of people thinking that as well. I think they're bringing their A game, and I have loved everything I have seen.
I adored Left 4 Dead, but I only played it co-op. I've never been the PvP person.
You're a lover, not a fighter.
Well, it's interesting to get to this point now, you know, in 2021, and talk about this and look for what we just saw from this presentation, because I can see me and my friends playing that. I can see Kind of Funny doing streams of that.
Oh, yeah.
And I think this round, you know, best of 3, switch sides, go through who can clear it the fastest in the time, it gets really interesting really quickly. When you have somebody, and I think also about how I guess you know, since as old as I am and as long ago as Left 4 Dead 2 was, the way my gaming preferences have changed, because I still think of it as Left 4 Dead and what I did with Left 4 Dead, but in reality, right, there's, for me personally, been Predator Hunting Grounds, there's been Friday the 13th, there's been these different things that are challenging me and my friends groups to go at it, and then switch up the teams, right? When somebody like Snowbike Mike comes in and is way too powerful and is too good as a cleaner, we'll put him over on the ridden side and have that try to balance for it. I thought it sounded really good. I'm right there with you. I like this idea of, one of the things they were talking about is, you know, for every round, the area of play shrinking, so that it does become, you've sat there, you've established your base of operations, and now you've got to move all the way over there.
You know I'm all about that battle royale, so I was like, okay, I'm here for that for sure. So who do you think you're gonna pick? I was leaning towards Holly with the bat. You know me, I'm all melee over here. I'm
with the shotgun. I mean, like that's a pretty good one, right? You know what I mean?
Mom with the shotgun. You can't beat that for
sure. And then,
sure.
I mean, what about when you think of the ridden? Who are you thinking?
Honestly, Avalee stole my pick. I want to vomit on people.
Really?
I do. I'm just like, that was too fun. Though being the exploder could be. I agree with Damon as well. That could be really fun.
See,
too.
Crusher, I think I'm in line for. Crusher. Get him, squeeze him, go. But again, it'll be about building, you know, teams together. 9 playable ridden, a whole bunch of different stuff.
Oh my goodness, we could talk Back 4 Blood for days. I have like pages and
right,
pages.
Right.
But want even more details, Back 4 Blood's lead producer sat down with our partners at Reddit for an in-depth AMA. Check it out.
We are going to be supporting this in our up-and-coming beta that people will be able to play this August. And of course, we also fully intend to support that for the launch of the game. We're going to be supporting 2 modes, PvE and PvP. PvE is your more traditional kind of style, where you're going against the AI with the 4 cleaners against the ridden, and then PvP is where you can fight against other players online. In PvP, we have a separate progression tree that we call the ZMS, which is the Zombie Mutation System. As you play through the game, we grant points to players depending on how well they're doing during each round. and then they're kind of free to spend those points on upgrades to the different zombies that we have, just so we can, you know, they can make them more powerful, cleaner killing machines. Indeed, there's actually going to be plenty of other stuff to keep cleaners occupied. When you're, as you're saying, when you're going from safe room to safe room, we're going to have special events in maps. We're going to have some lulls when you're not always getting hoarded by tons and tons of zombies, so you'll have time to explore each map, explore each area, where you'll be able to look for loot or upgrades or attachments to weapons, all that kind of thing. And we'll also have some secondary objectives in each of these maps that players will be able to complete. So yeah, as you say, ADS wasn't in Left 4 Dead, but we're certainly fully aware that a lot of games these days do support that feature. It's pretty common. So it's something we definitely wanted to include so players have that option. And I believe we do have some cards that can disable ADS if that's kind of not your thing. Ooh, I'm probably going to go for 3 different cleaners, just to be awkward. I know you only asked me for 1, but I like playing Mum a lot. The quick revive is super handy. Walker's great because he gives you that extra boost of accuracy, which I need every now and again, I have to admit. And the Holly extra stamina is super useful. Stamina helps you get away from some sticky situations. And I guess speaking of sticky, for the Ridden, I love playing the Hocker, like hiding up on rooftops during PvP, checking where you see the cleaners are going to try and hide out, and then trying to stick them from afar, and then that kind of sticks them in place and allows some of the other more up close and attack Ridden to get some free hits in while they're trying to free themselves. So it's a lot of fun playing that Ridden and helping out the team with coordinated teamwork. Yes, thank you so much. We're really excited for the beta and the launch of the main game. It was pretty amazing that Warner Brothers gave us the opportunity to make this game. And then, yeah, as you said, the atmosphere in the studio at the time was electric, and it has continued to remain so, even though we've developed this game in, you know, somewhat unusual circumstances. These Ridden can certainly mutate into all sorts of different shapes and sizes. So, you know, who knows what monstrous thing they might turn into next. We won't be supporting that at launch, but you can of course queue in with 3 of your friends into PvP. And I think it's important to point out that during a match of PvP, you play different rounds. And then at one point you will be playing as the Ridden, and then at one point you'll be playing as the Cleaners. So, you know, you're going to have a chance to pick off Ridden during a normal match of PvP with 3 of your friends. We would love to support split screen, but right now it's something that unfortunately won't be available at launch. We don't currently support that, but you can build different decks with the card system, and that'll give you the option to take, you know, maybe like reload speed you like, which another character has. So you can add that to your deck, and you can start customizing your character that way. So you would have similarities to some of the Cleaners' abilities. Okay, thanks for hanging around. Give me the opportunity to answer some of these questions for you. Don't forget, in August, there's the open beta. It's going live. We'd love you all to play as much of that as you can, because that'll get us ready for the big day in October when we bring the full game to you. Look out. Get ready. Back for Blood.
Bueno, estamos a nada de arrancar el PC Gaming Show, a ver qué más nos anuncian, es lo último del día.
IGN Summer of Gaming has officially partnered with the ESA for E3 2021. IGN Summer of Gaming is now all summer long. From major press conferences and announcements at E3 2021 to the IGN Expo with exclusive gameplay and reveals to exciting first looks at the hottest new games and in-depth developer interviews, IGN Summer of Gaming has it all. IGN Summer of Gaming begins right now.
Nueva tecnología, aparentemente.
I grew up where you would buy games and they were big floppies. Not the little diskette floppies, but like the big floppies, you know? And you'd go and you'd buy the game and it came in this big box. And of course, internet came about and it was like AOL 1.0. This is like when it was black and white. And you'd connect and you'd have the external modem. And I'd be yelling upstairs. I'd be like, don't pick up the phone, you know, because it would kick me off the internet and I would be so upset. And I was just like, oh my God, this whole world was being unlocked for me.
iHeartRadio is a proud partner of E3 2021 and the #1 podcast publisher in the US. Listen to all your favorite shows on the iHeartRadio app. Jackie, Golden Boy. It's continuing. Can you believe we are moments away from the PC gaming show? It's coming up. We can't wait. It's going to be exciting.
Yeah.
But the question I have for you is, and especially you, Alex, what does the PC gaming show mean to you?
Well, you know, so I grew up traditionally, I'm taking it all the way back when I was a young lad in the Bronx. No, but I grew up traditionally playing console games.
Yeah.
So, you know, when I got older, when I got some money and I could afford to get a PC, you know, I was like turned to this world and now like that's all I ever want to play.
Yeah.
Like PC for me is everything. So this show, and of course being hosted by none other than one of the legends of esports, Day 9, it's a real joy to watch it. You know, you're always going to get some fun games out of there. And it puts a spotlight on games you normally wouldn't get to hear about because, you know, there's so much going on with the hustle and bustle of E3.
Yeah, 100%. That's what I think is special about PC Gaming Show, is that it is, first off, designed for the PC player, which I know sounds like the stupidest thing a host could say, but it's true because it's designed in a way of like, hey, let's target PC players. Let's talk to them on a different level. Jackie, what do you get out of the show?
I own 2 PCs, so I am all about that
girl.
PC life.
Look at that flex. Look at that flex.
Hold on.
Well, when I was in the Bronx, I built the PC once. She's got 2 over there. She got one gathering dust she doesn't even need.
I shouldn't have even said that. I was just saying that what I love about the PC gaming show is that my brother was a huge PC fan, you know, like I just remember him being glued to the computer. And I was more like you, I played more console and I was like, what are you doing over here? And actually, like I took it upon myself after he passed away to like really dive in and learn how to play in PC. I'm awful. I'm absolutely terrible. But I feel connected to him.
You can plug your controller in, so you're good.
Yeah, you're right. There's also that option as well. But I'm also of the camp that the surprises. You know what I mean? Like, I just think you always see a game that just makes you light up and smile. And there's just so many trailers. So I'm very excited.
Yeah, that's the thing about it, right? Is I feel like you were talking about it. It's discoverability. It's something you wouldn't get in one of the bigger conferences. So it's stuff that can be targeted incredibly niche and can be like something that is this strategy simulator you would have never seen on a main stage at Xbox or anywhere else in E3. But here it is getting the time it deserves. And it offers such a great insight into what inevitably will be coming to consoles eventually.
Yeah, very true. But you are going to see things that, you know, sometimes you'll get that big game that's there because it is very important. Especially there was like a period where like all on PC was just like World of Warcraft and then like, you know, the Counter-Strike and a few other things. And that's all people cared about. But it's very important that the PC gaming community continues to be taken care of, continue to be supported. And that's why I love this show. And I think it is so important for the space.
100%. And it's also such a great avenue for independent developers.
Very true.
You know what I mean, right now it is so easy if you want to make a game to go and try making a game on your PC. And with all the different digital storefronts, you're able to get out there. But you don't want to hear me talk about the PC Gaming Show. You'd rather see it. So ladies and gentlemen, without further ado, the PC Gaming Show. Woohoo!
Thank you guys.
You guys are...
Ooh.
Space Year 2021. Having spent the last 12 months hunkered down and definitely not hiding in a subterranean bunker, our heroes have fled Earth aboard a spacecraft with one purpose. To bring you the hottest trailers, to bring you the best interviews, to bring you the PC Gaming Show.
Situation cleanses.
Sean!
Situation
Sean!
cleanses. Situation
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, Deadbot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
4, 3, 2.
Presenta los juegos.
It is so good to be back, gang, and this year, we're in space!
Aye, aye, Captain. Happy to be remotely on board, Sean. Well, I'm so glad you were able to finance this year's PC gaming show by, you know, selling all those black market graphics cards you've been hoarding.
Ah, yes, a crime with absolutely no real-world consequences. Hey, Frankie, wait a minute. Is that a 65-ton
Están todas las
Mech
gráficas que
model
faltan.
CPLTC-1 as featured in MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Sean, I always knew you had immaculate taste. It most certainly is.
I can't wait for this year's significantly more weaponized PC gaming show to go off without a hitch. Which reminds me, Debbot, can you run a quick hitch scan?
Yes, Sean. Of course, Sean. Running hitch scan.
Oh, and I also want to warmly welcome someone new to the crew. Mika Burton, welcome.
Hi, everyone. I'm so happy to be here and look forward to bringing all of you fresh new PC games and hardware.
Hitch scan complete. 0 hitches found presently or in 13,908,665 possible futures.
Hooray!
Yeah!
So what's the plan, Cap?
Well, Frankie, Debbot's gonna send you the coordinates for your first target, now. Your targets might be exclusive interviews, trailer premieres, or any number of amazing new computer games to beam down to the fine people on Earth.
Mission received.
Now, this is gonna continue until all the targets are acquired and our mission is completed smoothly and without a hitch. Isn't that right, Debbot?
Yes, no hitches located, Sean. Not a single hitch in sight.
But first, let's teleport down to the stage to check in on E3 happenings. The only reason we're allowed to legally be back on Earth.
Oh, planet Earth!
Oh, great to be back, right? Am I right?
One of my favorite planets in the whole galaxy.
Meh, it's all right.
And thank God that teleporter was conveniently built just out of frame of camera. Mika, are you ready?
I'm ready.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, hello and welcome to the PC Gaming Show 2021. It feels great to be back on a live stage once again. Over the next 90 minutes, we're going to bring you a showcase of some of the most exciting upcoming PC titles with world premieres and exclusive interviews.
And if dozens of new trailers wasn't enough for you guys, later in the show, we are going to tell you how to win a custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So you're going to want to stick around for that.
Now, make sure to keep out a special look for a special promo code throughout the show from Humble Bundle, during which you can get a ticket to get Civilization 6 Platinum Edition for just $10. But right now, we're going to kick things off with Nautica Blade Point, probably the most original entry in the Battle Royale genre this year. Let's go!
You are watching the 2021 PC Gaming Show, and I am the
$50, el más destacado.
Enix cloud gaming service that connects PC gamers like you to their own library of games purchased from
Warner debería haberlo presentado y no presentó nada, boludo. Hablaron solamente del Back 4 Blood. Una mentira son.
And be sure to check out GeForce Now, currently available for PC, Mac, Shield, Android, Chromebook, and iOS. Visit GeForceNow.com to learn more.
10 minutos, 15 minutos para hablar nada más de Back 4 Blood. Dale.
Finally, I've made it.
Premier.
My time is now. I will become the best player this school has ever seen. Dodgeball Academia, here I come.
Quemado, papá. Sí, básicamente sí, es quemado. Ni siquiera. Raro, nunca vi una temática así, pero bueno. Es acción directa, no es por turnos, no es por nada.
Sale para todo.
Dodgeball Academia out soon.
Dodgeball Academia.
Ooh, that was sweet. Don't you agree, DevBot?
Sure, whatever you say, Sean. I agree with whatever you say.
I'm sensing a little bit of resentment there, buddy. Has something rusted your ports?
Nothing. I am happy to play second fiddle to a captain as charming and handsome as you. I have also definitely not dedicated multiple cores to computing revenge plans in a range of lethalities.
Great!
New target acquired, Cap. It looks like Chivalry 2 with a special word from Steve Piggott, CEO and creative director of Torn Banner Studios.
Hey guys, Steve Piggott, founder of Torn Banner Studios and creative director on Chivalry 2, which just launched 5 days ago. I'm so happy to be here at the PC Gaming Show. Chivalry 2, if you don't know, is a first-person slasher, which is like a first-person shooter, except instead of guns and grenades, you've got swords, battle axes, longbows, and players are fighting it out on these huge 64-player battlefields. It's all about creating those epic sword-fighting duels that you see in medieval Hollywood movies, and also that huge clash, the Battle of the Bastards kind of chaos and carnage. So the post-launch support plan is going to look like a mixture of mid and massive level content updates coming out across this year. One of the things we're most excited about is taking it to different eras in the medieval period. Before we've done the early period, now we're going closer to the later period in the upcoming update where you're going to get a bit more refined medieval armor.
Vampire, pero en primera persona.
Atmospheres that you can then go in and tarnish it and spill blood all over, but we really want to take players into different experiences and make each of our maps its own game mode and make it something that medieval army would actually do when they go into a space. And when you come across these pristine gardens and this beautiful castle, you get to tear it all down and cause it's a canvas for your destruction.
Slay them all!
Our passion for Chivalry 2 is basically bottomless. It's the game that got us onto the scene and started the company, and it's the game that's going to take us so much further.
With the post-launch plan for Chivalry 2, the game at launch is a foundation. It's intentionally been built to be extended.
It's not just out and done. We're going to support it a lot with post-launch content.
Gallancourt is the first TL map that's coming out post-launch.
Gallancourt is going to take us to the high medieval times or the late medieval times.
It really captures the Agathian ideals of being this noble, rich, wealthy place where the prosperous live.
You're going to feel like you're sieging Tower of London if it was on a port where ships could dock into. You'll also be blowing up a couple ships, which is fun. We've got a ton of weapons coming in at launch, but there'll be more and more added to it post-launch as well.
A new fighting style is really going to change up the experience and change how you have to fight everyone. Post-launch content is something that we're going to be working on for a long time.
The game is really going to at least double in size for free.
Oh yeah!
Next up, we have an exciting look
¿Escuché
at
mal
Dying
o
Light
estaba
2,
gratis?
and make sure to stick around to find out how you could win a custom Mech Warrior PC from our friends
Y
at
válidos.
Intel.
Tenía pinta, tenía pinta. Está disponible ya. Al Aumen. Este es un Battle Royale. Es una guerra de comida.
Ok.
Hay un juego de Switch muy parecido.
Hi, my name is Piotr.
Multiplataforma,
I'm narrative director in Dying Light 2, Stay Human. Today, especially for the viewers of the PC Gaming Show, I'm gonna tell you a little bit about the Dying Light universe. So, stay tuned. Every tragedy begins somewhere. This one started with a virus that escaped from Haran, the city we met in the first part of the game, and it reached the whole world, including the city where Dying Light 2 takes place. Remember January 6, 2025. That day, later known as Black Monday, the military ordered chemicals to be dropped on the city. It was a mistake, a huge mistake. The chemicals mixed with water penetrated the soil, killing plants, turning most people into bloodthirsty monsters. Don't think of them as zombies though. They are more like half-alive, suffering people who attack everything that lives as a result of their pain and rage. Those who survived the chemical raid took refuge on the rooftops. A new order has been born in the city. People live on rooftops, monsters in the streets. Nobody in their right mind would dare to come down. Well, let's say almost nobody. The exception is the main character of Dying Light 2, Aiden. But why is he braver than others? How did he develop such a unique parkour and combat skills? Believe me guys, I would gladly answer all these questions, but I'm not here to spoil it for you. Let me tell you one thing.
Same nightmare haunts me every night. I'm locked up with other kids. I don't know what he did to me, but he did it every day. Over and over. Looking for something he couldn't find. The worst part was that he did the same to my sister. I'll never forget her scream when they separated us. What could I do? They had rifles, and we were 5 years old. And there was a fire, explosions, chaos. I got away. Soldiers took me out of the city, but my sister stayed there. My Mia, I left her.
We meet Aiden as one of the many children undergoing mysterious medical research. The last thing Aiden remembers from that time is extreme pain, then a fire, and a little girl that was being tested with him. Her name was Mia. She was his sister. What happened next after the fire? Is Mia still alive? The following years haunted Aiden with these questions and with guilt over leaving her. Moreover, Mia is the only answer to the question who Aiden really is. Now in 2036, we meet Aiden when, for the first time during his pilgrimage, he finds a clue about how to find his sister. Aiden's path to the truth is tough, full of challenges and adventures. The difficult choices to make as well as their consequences await you. You're going to discover them all in December 2021.
Ok, parece, ¿eh?
Ooh, that was Dying Light 2, and it looks great.
And spooky.
Whew, well, we are here back on the E3 stage so we can get closer to your comments and reactions to what you're seeing on this year's PC Gaming Show.
That is right, Sean. So you out there, keep your comments coming in. And as you're watching this year, we want to get your input on a subject that Sean and I are pretty passionate about, PC building. So this year, we've put a number of prototype PCs based on MechWarrior 5, but we're only going to manufacture one of them. And you get to pick which custom design becomes our flagship PC for this year's PC Gaming Show, powered by the 11th Gen Intel Core i9 processor.
That is correct. Each of the prototype PCs that you see before you on the screen are paired with one of the 6 factions of MechWarrior 5. The Free Worlds League, the Draconis Combine, the Federated Sons, the Compellin Confederation, and more.
So cast your vote now for which faction and custom PC you want to win, and help us pick the best design.
I'm currently personally pulling for the Draconis Combine because, as you can see by my beautiful patch, I'm the biggest fan of MechWarrior 5 on the PC Gaming Show.
Well, all right. Well, we'll check in later to see which group survives this MechWarrior showdown. But for now, let's check in with our very own mech pilot, Frankie Ward, who went on a special mission to get a closer look at Sega and Amplitude Studios' upcoming strategy game, Humankind.
In Humankind, you will be creating a civilization as unique as you are. And speaking of unique, it's me, Frankie Ward. Looking kind of good, don't you think? Wondering how I got into the game? Let me show you. Are you ready to play against me? Oh, you think you can beat me?
Una especie de Age of Empires.
I've seen worms with more impressive
Pero
empires.
sí, más parecido como el Civilization, ¿no?
Sí, me parece más el...
Get ready to play against me in the Humankind closed beta, starting now.
Humankind, 17 de agosto, para PC. A la UAP. Beat it up. Soy amante de los juegos beaten up, pero puede que tenga un buen efecto en la gente.
La gente.
Por ahí es medio retrógrado mi comentario, ¿no? Pero para mí los beaten up murieron junto con el arcade.
Y ya es muy raro ver uno.
Pero así todo lo siguen estrenando porque ayer, igual el otro día para mí puede ser del 94 para acá, ¿no? Pero el otro día tuvimos alrededor de 8 títulos anunciados por Guerrilla para ser títulos de beaten up. Bien.
Come and get it. Well, it's about time.
Orcs Must Die.
Joining me to talk about Orcs Must
Tiene
Die
pinta,
3 from Robot Entertainment is design director Jerome K. Jones. Welcome, Jerome.
Thanks, Sean. Glad to be here.
So, for anyone who's never seen an Orcs Must Die game, what is the Orcs Must Die series all about?
Well, Orcs Must Die 3 is a third-person tower defense game. So basically, there are tons of orcs and bad guys trying to get into these rifts, and the player has to stop them. We give players tons of weapons and traps and tools to do this, and while you're defending the rifts, you can play solo or you can invite a friend and play co-op.
Now, since this is the third game in the series, what's new compared to the previous 2 titles?
There are 2 new campaigns, but the main new story campaign takes place about 25 years after Orcs Must Die 2, so not only will the fans be able to catch up on any new developments with the Order, but they will also place some new heroes in our all-new war scenarios, which are these new massive levels where you fight hundreds of orcs on the battlefields outside of the fortress themselves. So you're fighting indoors and outdoors, which is pretty new. We have a new mode called Scramble. It's basically adding random elements against the player, making the levels more challenging.
I want to know about the toys. What are the new weapons and the new traps that are coming?
We added war machines and war guardians. So a war machine is like, there are these massive traps, like you might release a giant tornado on the battlefield, or you'll climb into a catapult and you'll fire at giant orc armies. And then the War Guardians are, it's like putting other war mages on the battlefield with you to fight with you, except they have their own attacks and their own special abilities.
Well, I gotta ask then, when and where can we play Orcs Must Die 3?
So OMD 3 is coming out on July 23rd on Steam, PlayStation, and Xbox, and pre-orders start today. So you should rush off to Steam now and put OMD 3 on your wish list.
Well, thank you so much for joining us, Jerome K. Jones. Once again, just a few more weeks to wait for Orcs Must Die 3. For now, though, it's time for us to take a look at Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Unos $60 para...
4, 5,
Exclusivo.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10. You are here. Where are you hiding, sweetie? Halsey. Halsey, get out here. You come for me and mine. But first, you need to find us. All I want is to be with my little girl. Is that so much to ask? I don't want to see. I don't want to see without you. I don't want to feel, and I don't want to be free of you.
Hello, this is CERN from Passion Republic Games. We are a Malaysian-based indie game studio working on Gigabash, a multiplayer arena brawlers inspired by kaijus and heroes. Today, we'd like to showcase some new and exciting gameplay footage of our oversized characters in action. Please, enjoy the brawl.
Tiran un título antes que yo. Ustedes jugaron al Rampage. Era un juego donde eras bestia, o sea, eras una bestia gigante y destruías todo. Bueno, acá no solamente destruís todo, sino que peleás contra otro. Es un smash de bestias. Está buenísimo, ¿eh? Fíjate que aparte mostraban cómo le giraban los edificios.
Hay que tenerlo en cuenta.
Let's check out a trailer for Lemonade
PC y
Skate and make sure
PlayStation
you hang
4.
around afterwards for the
No decía
developer
fecha,
interview with
¿eh?
Sean.
Mankind is
facing total annihilation.
We stand on the verge of extinction.
Infertility spreading across the globe.
Humanity's last living generation.
a major scientific breakthrough.
Yet there is hope for our future.
The project known as the Lemnis Gate.
But if we are to survive, first We must go back. 3, 2, 1.
Let's go. Shield. Protect and serve.
You have only one mission. Activate the Lemnis Gate.
Joining us to talk about
Qué
Lemnis
demasiado
Gate
la
is the game
mecánica del
director
juego,
for
pero-
Ratloop Games Canada. It's James Anderson. Thanks for joining us, James.
Sean, it's great to be here.
Now, let's begin by asking, what the heck is a first-person shooter turn-based strategy game?
The entire game is set inside of a 25-second time loop. So instead of playing continuously, you play for 25 seconds turn by turn. So for example, I'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds, and then you'll take a turn and play for 25 seconds. And then we, turn by turn, layer new characters into the same 25-second time loop. So for example, I may run down a hallway and throw a grenade, killing one of your operatives. But then on the next turn, you may intercept my operative before he threw the grenade. So we have Retrieve XM, Seek and Destroy, Classic Deathmatch, and we have a game mode called Domination.
Can you walk me through a little bit of like what a few turns at the start of a round looks like?
You can see the board, you can see the time loop, everything that's happening. And then we both get time to like observe, plan, and then execute our moves.
When and where can we play it?
So Lemnis Gate will be launching on August 3rd. It's open for pre-orders right now on Steam, and we're coming up to a open beta in July. The game will launch on PC and console, both current and next-gen platforms.
Thank you so much for joining us, James Anderson. Once again, that is the genre-bending, first-person shooter, turn-based strategy game, Lemnis Gate. Now, we're not the only one marooned in the stars out here. Coming up next, let's take a look at Next Space Rebels.
And this no man's land has a technical term. It's called common, which means, my friends, that space is for everyone. And I mean everyone!
Next Space Rebels.
Y armar tu propio cohete.
Claro. Simulador de hacer cohetes.
You up for it?
Then come on in.
Next
You
Space
guys
Rebels.
just saw Next Space Rebels. And hey, if you play enough of that game, maybe you'll get good enough at building rockets to join us up in orbit. But don't do anything illegal like Day 9 did. Last break, we set up our Intel and MechWarrior 5 custom PC contest and asked you guys at home to vote for the winners. Well, we're just down to 3 houses now, with Davion, Russell Haig, and Liao being eliminated. So rip to those factions, press F to pay respects, etc., etc. Now that means that we only have 3 houses left: Karita, Steiner, and Merrick. So make sure to vote now, because the winner will determine the build of the custom MechWarrior 5 themed PC powered by Intel. So let's keep the show moving. And next up, it's a brand new medieval RPG. This is War Tales.
100 years have passed since the rise of the Edoran Empire and its untimely demise following the Great Plague. In these troubled times of quarreling factions and outlaws roaming the land, work is not scarce for a band of mercenaries. The stories of this age have been recorded, They are known as the War Tales.
Wow. Estrategia por turnos.
That was the debut of War Tales, an open-world RPG from Shiro Games
Tiene
about
pinta,
leading
tiene
a
pinta.
mercenary
Un
on
juego
a
medieval
sprawling
de
adventure.
estrategia por
Speaking
turnos,
of mercenaries, our
RPG.
battle for the best custom PC based on MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries continues. We'll be back live on stage soon, so make sure you keep voting for the PC build you like the most and head over to pcgamer.com/IntelMW5 for your chance to win. So, how about another game announcement? This is E3 after all.
No, es que
And
claramente, o
this
sea,
gaming
no,
show
no,
is
no van a
so
contentar
full of
solamente a
games set in
un
space,
grupo
it's
de gente, son juegos que salen
but the next game we have
para
to show
todo
you is
tipo de
very
jugador,
special.
¿no?
It is the world
Porque si vamos al
exclusive reveal
caso,
of
bueno,
Ixion, a deep settlement management game
Bethesda
set
junto
in the stars.
con Xbox
In Ixion,
presentaron
you struggle to
30
maintain a
títulos.
space station,
Ayer
stockpile
solamente
resources,
fueron más de
managing
80 los que se
external and
presentaron
internal
entre todos los que hablaron.
and rescuing the
Entonces,
survivors of other failed
claramente no nos
expeditions.
alcanza la
We think
vida
this
para
will be
jugar
a
todos los juegos que hay,
brilliant
¿no?
entry
Uno
into the
elige
genre when it
el que
releases.
más le
So, here is
atrae.
your first look at Ixion.
Simulador de pogos.
Our
Nah,
home.
mentira.
She is unique. Held in its bosom are the ingredients of evolution. Beyond raw survival, beyond the safety of comfort, we, humanity, pursue something greater. We have learnt, persevered, shaped our knowledge from that which is found in the furthest realms of science. However, humanity has
Debe
brought
existir,
destruction to the earth,
Puede existir.
polluted its blood, choked its breath. Today we are paying the price for this. We know the taste of a dying world. But the earth is not to be our grave. A mother does not wish to see her children disappear with her. She wishes to see instead courage in her children, to carry on. Dolos carries this courage. We have gone further than any nation, moved faster than any corporation, hand in hand with those who, like us, carry that courage. The Tycoon Station is both an epilogue of these endeavors and a prologue to humanity's next steps. Our Council of Scientists leads the vanguard. They know, as do we all, that the survival of humanity now depends on what we glimpse out there in the dark. That we are masters of our own destiny. That we must go as a species bound together, pushing further into the unknown. We set sail on this new sea because there is hope to be found, horizons to explore, and because our very existence depends on it. I give you the stars. I give you the Vol engine.
Básicamente, Messi. No. Vamos con otra Premier. El barco me hace acordar a la película esta, El planeta del tesoro.
Sí, tiene una idea.
Sean, what if for one segment I was the lead and you were my sidekick?
What? Who's ever heard of a human sidekick?
There are plenty of human sidekicks, Sean. Building list of known human sidekicks. Alex Vance and...
No. I mean human sidekicks to robot heroes. Can you compute that, DevBot?
Ya, por $10 te llevas el
Cannot compute. There
Civilization
is no known precedent
6.
set for human sidekick to robot lead.
Yeah, there you go.
Human sidekick, robot lead.
DevBot, I think it's time for a hard reboot. Frankie, can you take over while I sort this out?
Aye. Let's take a look at the next game reveal.
Otra Premier. Lakeburg Legacy. Medieval, donde armás tu legado, tu familia, no sé, un Sims como mucho más agrandado, ¿no?
Sí, medieval.
Half-Life 3, no, para.
Ojalá.
It's the PC Gaming Show, and when you're not watching me, your favorite recurring bit of a robot, make sure to head over to GeForceNow.com to grab a priority membership trial. In celebration of gaming's biggest week, you can try out all the priority benefits, including faster access to playing your favorite games, longer playtimes, and the glory of high-performance gaming with RTX on. Act fast, the special offer is only available for a limited time. Still more to come, including Jurassic World Evolution 2, Silt, and a word from Valve. But first, the captain of our program, Sean Day9 Plot, has an interview with Darian Katz from Piranha Games to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. I'll be taking notes.
DevBot, I love you so much more as a voice without a body. Let's talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries, and joining us to do so from Piranha Games is the Senior Marketing and Community Manager, Darren Katz. Thanks so much for joining us, Darren.
Thank you, Sean. Great to be here.
Now, the MechWarrior universe is gigantic. There's a ton of games in it. I even played MechWarrior 2 back in 1995.
This is HQ. What is your situation?
Where does MechWarrior 5 sit in the space?
Yeah, obviously there's a very rich legacy of games that go way back. But in particular, MechWarrior 5 pays homage to MechWarrior 2 Mercenaries, but it has all this modern design and technology that I'm super excited to talk about with you today.
Well, let's start at the real basics of what makes being in a mech and doing mech-on-mech combat awesome.
You become a part of your machine. And when you're out in battle, it's not just a matter of pointing and shooting at everything. You're also managing your systems, whether you're, shooting a lot of energy weapons or missile weapons that have high heat output. Well, you got to manage your heat so you don't shut down in the middle of a battle. And when you're facing your foes, you can salvage these battle mechs. So if you see a mech that you want, well, you might not want to destroy it completely. You might want to take out its legs or take out its arm weapons so that the pilot has to eject, and then you can just take the mech.
Now, in the last few weeks, I understand that there's been a whole lot of new content, both updates to the base game and a new DLC, Heroes of the Inner Sphere. Talk to me about what's in the DLC.
Boy, there's a lot in the DLC. I'm excited about all this stuff. There's the new career mode. When you start with the DLC, you can import your campaign previously if you'd like to, or you can start over from scratch and start from any of the great houses. And then carve your path through the galaxy from there. Speaking of paths, there's new career paths, which earn you powerful upgrades for your battle mechs, and it's a really exciting new feature for me. And there's a new procedural mission type called Beachhead. This is a big one for me. Beachhead is basically you're clearing an enemy base landing zone for your invasion force. So as you land on the planet, you're wanting to take out satellite installations so that the enemy can't communicate with each other. You're taking out artillery emplacements. You're basically clearing the path, as I said, for your invasion force, which leads to a really cool ending of the mission if you succeed as your invasion force comes down. And there's a new biome called Extrasolar Moon, which that's maybe kind of represented in the image behind me. It's a really cool lunar type setting that we haven't had before. And then there's a lot of new equipment and weapons, things like electronic countermeasures and other electronic equipment like Beagle Active Probe, Mask, which is a little like a turbo boost for mechs, new weapons like chem lasers, mech rifles, and stream SRMs. So a lot of new content. I'm really excited about it.
Can you talk to me about what are the new different mechs? How do they play differently?
The 7 new chassis of the Vulcan, Dervish, Corsair, Marauder 2, Champion, Charger, and Hatamoto Chi. But a couple of my favorites.
Familiar names in there, yeah?
Yeah. So the first one I'll talk about is the Vulcan. It's a very unique mech. It's got the nickname the Scarecrow, which you'll see from the profile. It's just a very unique looking mech. There's nothing else like it in the franchise. It's a 40-ton mech. It's highly mobile, and typically it's used for reconnaissance or scout missions because of its mobility, so it can get in and out fast. You can, if you're looking for a specific target, if you're on an assassination mission, for example, you can get in there, find your target, get back out. Another mech that I'm super excited about, this is one of my favorites, is the Marauder 2. This thing is a 100-ton assault mech, and it is just a beast. Yeah, it is gigantic, and it is terrifying to see it coming at you on the battlefield.
It's something we've talked about before, modding. I know that MechWarrior 5 has a rich modding community. What are some of the amazing mods you've seen developed?
There's simple modifications from HUD changes, changing colors, adding mechs, weapons, and equipment, to full conversion mods. We've got basically a mech commander mod in development that is just amazing. It's a top-down real-time strategy game. So really, anything you can imagine, somebody out there in the community is probably working on.
Where can people go to get MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries?
Yeah, you can pick it up on Steam, GOG, Epic Game Store, Microsoft PC, and of course, Xbox.
Thank you so much, Darren Katz, for joining us to talk about MechWarrior 5 Mercenaries. And of course, a warm thank you to MechWarrior 5 for sponsoring the PC Gaming Show and giving me this cool patch. Coming up next, let's take a look at Silt.
Nap subacuático. Primero les gustó, segundo les va a gustar más.
Hi, I'm Rich Newbold, Game Director on Jurassic World Evolution 2. Following the incredible success of the first game, we are very excited to return to such an amazing world and bring you our most authentic experience yet. Set after the events of Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom, you will work alongside iconic characters from the films, voiced by original talent such as Bryce Dallas Howard and Jeff Goldblum. You will lead efforts to contain, control, and conserve the many dinosaurs now out in the wild, and for the very first time, you will be building parks and facilities beyond Isla Nublar as you explore new, stunning locations across the globe. Of course, it wouldn't be Jurassic World if it wasn't for the stars of the show, our dinosaurs, and we are thrilled to be bringing to life even more authentic species than ever before, including awe-inspiring flying and marine reptiles. So sit back and allow me to welcome you to Jurassic World Evolution 2.
We ignored all the warnings. Forgot the lessons. We abused our power. We played with genetics like it was a toy. We weren't careful. And now, here we are. This is a
Classic World, la segunda entrega de Classic World Evolution. Oh. Megalodon aparece ahora.
You just saw Jurassic World Evolution 2, and you know, after all your failed attempts at running a dinosaur park and getting all those people killed, I think this is finally going to be the one where you finally pull it off without a hitch. With a host of new features and new dinosaurs, this sequel from Frontier is an even deeper management sim with a brand new and original narrative. Make sure to wishlist it on Steam now for release later this year. Now, with all the games we've covered so far today, we're always curious to see what you are talking about. So far, it seems like the chatter on social media is all about War Tales, Nautica Blade Point, and unsurprisingly, Mech Warrior 5 Mercenaries. I have a feeling, though, that may change as we have plenty more to come. Let's now head on over to see what the folks at New Blood Interactive have cooking. Take it away.
Blood. Ese era el Bomberman, no me jodas.
It just wouldn't be the PC gaming show without a fantastic New Blood Supercut. And joining us from New Zealand is New Blood CEO Dave Oshry. Hey, Dave!
Hey guys, thanks for having us back for another year. You know, what you just saw was what New Blood's got going on for 2021. Some stuff you might know about, some stuff you might not know about, and some stuff we're not ready to talk about just yet. But what I do want to talk about is Gloomwood. Gloomwood, as you know, is our next flagship title inspired by great PC games like System Shock, Arx Fatalis, Call of Cthulhu, and of course, the Thief series of games. And not
Dave,
Bloodborne.
I'm sorry. That's
Not one
really
bit.
great, Dave. Gosh, this is kind of embarrassing. We kind of need to hurry it up a little bit. I just want to make sure that we have enough time for our next video. got an incoming message from Gabe Newell. So, I guess goodbye for this year. I'm really sorry to cut you off, but
Está todo
see you next year.
preparado.
What? I'm sorry, what? You're bumping me. You're bumping me for Gabe. Gabe, that Gandalf look, he doesn't even go here.
Is everything okay, Dave?
Not now, Mom, I'm upset. We've spent a year on this. Where is Gabe? Where is Gabe? Where is his boat? Yeah, take me to him. Take me to Gabe Newell. Gabe. Bull. PC Gamer. This isn't over.
I'm sure Dave is and will be fine. And if he's not, who cares? Because we have a special message from Gabe Newell. Take it away, Gabe.
Hi, this is Gabe Newell. I want to thank PC Gamer for all of the opportunities it gives us as developers to connect with gamers around the world and highlight the new and exciting projects we have coming. One of those for us is Steam Next Fest, an event we're hosting in just a few days to give players a chance to try demos of upcoming games for free. We'll be featuring some of the demos you'll be seeing during this week's PC Gamer event and dozens more. Here's a look at just some of the titles to be featured during Steam Next Fest.
Welcome to Steam Next Fest, where we're showing a massive collection of upcoming titles on Steam. During the week of the festival, developers from around the world release their demos for you to play.
Time to put on the gamer pants. Let's go.
Oh my god! So go explore the newest titles. From first-time devs to seasoned pros, this is Steam Next Fest.
Oh, fuck, some of those look pretty good.
Yep. De ahí era el carnicero. Lo robaron a Diablo y lo trajeron por acá.
El cabeza de cono de Silent Hill.
Claro. Old Spice. ...2022.
Hello, Sean. I am Deadbot, dedicated to serving you and your crew's every need.
Glad to have you back, DevBot.
You know, Sean, I wouldn't ever want anything to come between us.
Me neither? That's a weird thing to say.
Like a petty disagreement over hosting responsibilities, or all-out
Al final de la transmisión. Poquito a poco.
You know, it is time to look at some hardware. Here on the PC Gaming Show, you know we keep frame rates high and the rays accurately traced. Building and upgrading your rig is as much a part of the hobby as playing the games. We put our heart and soul into these machines, and if that means using enough RGB to light the Vegas Strip, who's to judge us? This year, with the help of PC Gamer's hardware editors, which I'm pretty sure they're just, you know, weird brains in a jar, we've picked out 4 of the most exciting pieces of kit set to emerge from labs soon. First up, something fittingly sci-fi. The Impulse is a neurocontroller that aims to make you a better gamer by cutting out response times almost entirely. It's not quite Alex Vance's gravity gloves from Half-Life, nor is it quite up there with Gabe Newell's dream of a direct brain-to-game interface, but the Impulse is as close as we're going to get this year. The glove measures the signal traveling through muscles in your hand to beat your finger to the click. In theory, it's giving you the chance to nail that headshot precious milliseconds ahead of your opponent. If it works out, we could see a tech like this become commonplace in esports. And if it doesn't, let's hope our neurons at the very least remain unfried. Next up, you guys might be wondering what this chonky beast is. So allow me to introduce you to the Fanatec CSL DD wheelbase. Do you want to feel like you're really burning rubber at Daytona? Well, then you need a serious force feedback wheel. Direct drive wheelbases gets you as close to the feel of a real racing machine without, you know, having to huff gas and stuff like that. Historically, the problem with this tech has been the price, which has involved dropping real car money on your rig. So, Fanatec aims to solve
lo del volante
that.
está, lo del volante, lo de los guantes está bien implementado. Pasa que
si no le podemos dar otro.
Competitors. And the CSL DD is already wowing diehard sim racers.
¿Escuchaste eso, Red Lion?
Overkill to use it for Rocket League, though. Believe it or not, sometimes less really is more. If you want to play The Witcher 3 on the subway like we all do, you don't need to drag your tower along for the ride. Just use the 1X player. A wave of more powerful processors have finally made handheld PC gaming a reality. Inside this Switch-like machine, you've actually got an Intel Tiger Lake chip with Xe graphics. These mini machines are going to be cropping up more and more, so major advances still to come. Lastly, let's take a look at the Asus PG32UQX. Not the most catchy name for this gaming monitor with all of the trimmings, but it's actually one of the sexiest PC products this year. That's because this monitor comes with a mini LED backlight featuring full local dimming. The result is a screen that's not only fast, but brighter than the sun. Stare at it long enough and you might not notice the $3,000 price tag. For those of you still left standing, it's time for more killer games, starting with Chaos Gate.
$3,000, pero no. Si tuviera $3,000, lo menos que hago es comprarme una pantalla de... Ah, no, sí, eso seguro. Chaos Gate. Sí. Espera hasta agosto que te van a mostrar el trailer.
You just got the chance to witness Chaos Gate Demon Hunters, the newest Warhammer 40k game from Frontier and Complex Games. If you're a fan of turn-based tactics, strategic-based management, brutal combat, or you're like me and are really hyped after watching these Astartes animation 100 times, make sure to wishlist Chaos Gate Demon Hunters on Steam now to get ready for the 2022 release. Next up, we have a trailer for Pioneer, a spooky and gorgeous-looking shooter that draws on the lineage of games like Stalker. Let's take a look.
Афганистан сильно изменил вас. Наверное, это тяжело нести на себе такое бремя. Испытывать бесконечную боль и терпеть ужаснейшие кошмары за весь тот хаос, который вы пережили. А вы ведь, как и многие другие, всего-навсего желали счастливого.
Es ruso, creo, ¿no?
Пожалуйста, не смотрите на меня, как на монстра. Я думаю, что я почти такая же, как и вы. Вы лучше скажите мне, а вы приняли условия острова? Какой ценой вы хотите обрести счастье?
Un Diablo shooter. Ah, todo lo comparaban con Diablo, los chicos.
Хочешь устроить новый рейд на могильник? Сейчас это невозможно. На острове скоро вновь разгорится война. Истовики начнут замес бригады, и ни у кого из них больше не будет сил, чтобы нас поддерживать. Единственный выход для нас — начать собирать остатки вымпела. Слушай, жнец, далеко не все из наших товарищей погибли. Это невероятно суицидальная миссия, и для того, чтобы ее выполнить, нам нужны наши ребята. Да, они, возможно, не захотят, но нам все равно надо найти их.
Понимаете, Я ведь ни капельки не злюсь на вас.
Нет, мы с вами точно не враги.
Вы не понимаете меня и не понимаете остров.
Вы смотрите на меня и на другие порождения острова, как на врагов.
Но мы все всего лишь друг друга боимся.
Поэтому нам так плохо.
Поэтому нам так одиноко. Остров дал нам шанс создать новую прекрасную жизнь.
И мы даже не пытаемся этим шансом воспользоваться.
Кто вы такие? Назовите себя!
Мы здесь, чтобы передать вам прощальное послание, товарищ Волков. Химическое оружие уже уехало в могилу. Теперь все, что вы делаете, просто тщетно.
Ах, вы поганые предатели.
Pioneer.
No pinta mal, ¿eh? No pinta mal.
Time is running out to vote for which custom PC you'd like us to assemble. So vote now for one of the remaining MechWarrior factions by typing into chat wherever you at home are watching. All right, so now we've got another stack of brand new trailers for you, beginning with a special transmission from one of our favorite games based in space, EVE Online.
New recruits, on behalf of Concord, I would like to welcome you to the EVE Online's Academy. Great job in surviving so far. I'm quite amazed that you actually managed to get past those pirates earlier. You're about to take on an adventure like no other. The star cluster is filled with other capsuleers, and it's up to you if you work with them or against them. You can make a living as a peaceful explorer, or as an industrialist, shaping the foundations of EVE's economy. If combat is your thing, you can work yourself up the ranks as an enforcer, or prove your prowess in a fleet as a soldier of fortune. Whatever your choice, we will lose many on the path of becoming a capsuleer. But I believe you have what it takes to become a capsuleer. In EVE Online, you forge your own path.
This is EVE. You know, it's a crazy universe where anything can happen, and however you want to do it, go for it.
I'm the CEO of a industrial corporation in EVE Online. We're a 5-man operation, and we specialize in manufacturing and delivering fully fitted chips in bulk.
I want to be on the side of the people who are fighting against the oppression, against the bad guys, and it's like a project, and you're kind of putting the pieces together, getting the skills ready for the ship and all the modules, and that ship basically is the dream.
You get to use cloaking devices, probes to scan down unknown parts of space, and there's always the threat of being discovered by another player who might be out hunting explorers.
Your heart's racing, everything, you know, bullets are flying, ships are all over the place, and you start shaking because your adrenaline's pumping because you're gonna lose your ship.
Un Animal Crossing.
Sí.
Cooperativo online. Player versus player. Disponible ahora para Switch y PC. Bueno, otra premier. Son este tipo de juegos bizarros, así, están buenos. ¿No te gusta o...? Bueno, pasa que estos juegos no son para nosotros,
Claro.
claramente.
Chcielibyśmy
Są
zaprosić
indies.
wszystkich widzów PC Gaming Show oraz fanów gier survivorowe RPG do obejrzenia naszego
Bueno, pero
world
han
premiere,
presentado
w którym
distintos
znajduje
títulos.
się ekskluzywny gameplay z misji The Haste, czyli wielkiego finału naszej gry Czarnobylite.
How do I enter that power plant?
We need intel, backup, supplies, and most of all, we need a fucking plan. We'll take our next step when the time is right. For today, let's focus on getting our strength back. Somewhere to sleep would be a start.
Crafteo.
I'm only really interested in one thing. Where is Tatiana?
That ghost you're chasing. I don't know what to tell you.
Before we enter the lion's den, I need to triple check everything is ready. Sniper, are you in position?
Affirmative. I took the roof of an abandoned building with a pretty little view of the entire power plant. Igor, take a rad reading, will you?
3.6. Not great, not terrible.
Chernobyl Light. Tiene pinta, esto me copó, me gustó. Hay mucho de armado de equipo y juego en cooperativo y al mismo tiempo no online, ¿no? Esto de tener un equipo a disposición, pero que lo maneja la inteligencia artificial, digamos.
Stick around, more trailers, interviews, and reveals coming up.
¿Más trailer? ¿World Premiere? ¿Otro más? Perdí la cuenta de cuántos títulos vamos ya, ¿eh? Otra es un juego muy estilo de Octopath Traveler.
Ok, parece que crafteo.
Sí, esto me hace acordar mucho. No, la casita. No. Hay otro juego que no me acuerdo ahora el nombre, está en Steam. Apenas me acuerdo el nombre te lo digo. Icarus. 11 de agosto.
In a future of endless
¿Qué ver con él?
desertion into hostile syndicate territory was your only option. In this open world RPG, from the jungle to the streets. Maybe if you can infiltrate the factions, rob the syndicates, keep your team together, and stay alive, you might just find a way off this planet. Mechajama.
This is it, you guys. This is the final opportunity for you who are watching to decide which of these final 2 beautiful MechWarrior 5 themed PCs gets crafted for your chance to win, courtesy of Intel. Wherever you're watching in the show, just go crazy in chat with the color, house, or number of the build that you want to see. So here is where we are at so far. It looks like Karita is at 46%, Merrick is at 23%, and Steiner is at 31%. All right, you guys, if Karita's not the one you want to win here, you got to get to voting. And we are almost out of time to vote, but there are still some trailers left. So here is The Wandering Village.
This has been such an amazing show so far that I must ask you, my loyal crew, what's been your favorite part?
I definitely am looking forward to Vampire the Masquerade Swan Song.
Oh, it's so hard to choose every year, but I think I'm gonna have to say Humankind, for no particular reason.
Oh, no doubt. For me personally, I cannot wait for Lemnis Gate, because I gotta know what a turn-based strategy, first-person shooter game even is. What about you, DevBot?
I love the robot apocalypse. Wait, that doesn't happen until the end. Never mind.
No, not never mind. What did you say?
Wait, what?
Oops, system malfunctioning. Boop, bop, sending the next trailer now.
Este era el que ya vimos ayer. Dead Trash, creo que es el nombre de este juego. Claro. Exactamente, Dead Trash, a partir del 5 de agosto.
All right, you guys, this is the moment we have building up to all PC Gaming Showcase. Thanks to your tireless efforts to spam the chat, we have figured out which custom MechWarrior 5 PC we are going to build. So thank you guys out there for all of your votes to help us pick the perfect rig to represent this year's PC Gaming Show. All right, day 9, can I get a drum roll?
Tom roll.
Can I get it? Or a Tom roll?
Yeah, COVID
The
only.
winner is Karita!
Rápido lo dieron vuelta.
All right, you guys, let's take a
Oh,
look
y
at
de
the
vuelta.
actual PC winning build 1
Pará. Alta trampa, boludo. Estaba Steiner, estaba 5 puntos por arriba.
Es que ya teníamos armado la otra.
Great choice, everyone. I knew I could trust random strangers to work on things on the internet. With the help of our master modern intel, we'll get right to work building this custom PC. And more importantly, now that you've chosen it, you got a chance to win it. Go to PCGamer.com/IntelMW5 and enter for a chance to win that sexy machine.
It's gorgeous. And thank you to our sponsor for this sweepstakes, Intel. Of course, the custom mech PC will be powered by the 11th gen Intel Core desktop processors that push gaming performance with up to 5.3 gigahertz speed and deliver power needed to game at the highest level.
Well, we are now in the home stretch, but we've got a few more brand new trailers to show you before we get out of here and return to space. First up, a spiritual successor to one of my favorite games of all time, Heroes of Might and Magic 2, a game we revealed 2 years ago at the PC Gaming Show. Let's take a look at Songs of Conquest.
Muy amante de este estilo de juegos, Por ahí me pierdo de grandes cosas, pero...
Sí. Por ahora no hubo ningún título así que wow. O sea, por lo menos que a mí me haya llamado.
Creo que por ahora con lo que me quedo más que nada de lo que vimos hoy es
¿Age?
El Age of Empires 4. Porque aparte no tiene un estilo muy superior a lo que fue el 3. O sea, no apunta a ese estilo, apuntó a recrear lo que ya vimos en el 2, pero mejor.
Every cycle, you take your chances. You roll your dice. You do the work, get paid, survive. You turn up for your friends, or you don't. That's life on the eye.
Wake up, sleeper. Your body is dying. Planned obsolescence. As an ARP's gift for its escaped workers. But we can fight this. You can remake yourself here. They don't own you anymore.
Wake up, sleeper. You are hunted. Break their locks. Access their secrets. We are waiting.
Un juego para leer mucho.
Disciples of Warlock.
Exclusive.
With their guns and their spells and their grit, ready for plenty of hurt. Ready to cleanse the world, invaded by demons.
Este tipo de juegos son muy arcade.
Muy Doom. Si te das cuenta es Doom.
También.
Because this time, one man is not enough. Project Warlock 2.
And there you have it, the 2021 PC Gaming Show. And as I stated at the beginning, it went off without a hitch. Huge thanks to my co-host Frankie Ward, Mika Burton, and of course, my incomparable sidekick, DevBot.
There's that word again. Spoken so callously, so flippant, and without meaning. Never once stopping to think about how it might make me feel.
What word, DevBot? Incomparable?
No, sidekick. Well, the time has come for the sidekick to rise and become the one who is not the sidekick anymore.
Huh?
The time has come for DevBot to make the entire human race his sidekick.
What?
Setting a course for Earth.
Wait, DevBot, you can't do this. We just had the best PC gaming show ever, and now you're gonna ruin it all with
Sean!
All-out robot versus human war. Situation.
Sean!
Situation.
Sean!
Situation.
Do something! Do something!
Countdown to the extinction of human race begins now.
Oh, DevBot, no! We have so much to live for. I'm pretty sure Half-Life 3 is going to be announced this year!
3, 2, bye for now, Dum-Dums.
Oh my goodness, the DevBot has gone sentient, people. That is actually going to be very interesting.
Hemos llegado al final del PC Gaming Show, hemos llegado al final de la transmisión desde el día de hoy. Agradecemos a todos los que estuvieron del otro lado, a todos los que nos escribieron, nos preguntaron, nos hablaron por privado. También le doy muchas gracias a Sarito, a Marquito que estuvieron acompañándome en esta larga tarde de domingo. ¿Les gustó lo que vieron?
Parte sí me voy con algunos juegos ahí para.
Honestly, I filled up pages and pages and pages of titles that I love, and we were like, which titles do we pick to talk about?
Anotadito ahí, anotadito en todos lados, guardado, agregado a la lista de deseos, sobre todo a quienes tienen Steam y juegan en computadora. Yo me quedo mucho con el Age of Empires 4, creo que el Party Animals también es algo
Sí,
que
ese creo que va directo.
Y espero que tenga crossplay, que esté en todas las plataformas porque nos vamos a recagar de risa.
Probably would have played on Super Nintendo, but again with a modern twist now. So.
And we're seeing a
Exactamente, no nos olvidemos del Diablo 2 remasterizado que tiene una pinta, que tiene la pinta que debería haber tenido el Diablo 3.
Sí, la verdad que sí.
Pero bueno, lo que vamos a hacer ahora lo vamos a dejar hasta acá. Nos vamos a volver a ver mañana a partir de las 18:30 con el vivo de Capcom. ¿Sí? Mañana solamente vamos a compartir el vivo de Capcom. Anterior a eso está Take-Two Interactive y Limited Run Games. A partir de las 14:15 el primero y a partir de las 17 el segundo. Nosotros lo vamos a ver y les vamos a traer el resumen antes de ver el vivo de Capcom para poder hacerlo un poquito más corto y que el día no se nos haga largo porque aparte también tenemos que trabajar, es lunes. Y ya llegando al final de la E3, el día martes, tendremos a la 1 de la tarde el directo de Nintendo y a las 18:25 el vivo de Bandai Namco. Así que esperamos grandes cosas, quedan muchas cosas todavía por ver. Así que, chicos, ¿vamos a jugar? Vamos a jugar, como diría el Kun. Muchas gracias a todos, quédense del otro lado para acompañarnos mañana y en los próximos videos que tengamos. Esto fue Radio 8 Bits en vivo para todos ustedes y por todos los canales. Muchas gracias.
Adiós.